Hello and welcome back to After Listen Sports Podcast, another episode of Across the Country College Football. We are still in the Pac-12, just bullying our way through this right now. We are at Cal.
We're after this episode, we'll be a third of the way through the conference.
Yep, we are at Cal. Very excited for this episode. I wish we had Justin Wilcox on this. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So we could actually learn a little more about this team. But
they're a confusing team.
They are very
Definitely of the four teams we've looked to, far the one that we haven't been able to figure out the most.
I'm going to be honest, the information available on Cal
is limited.
Yeah.
Their message boards are slim pickings.
Yeah. Again, Justin Wilcox going to last year they won 3 games, I believe.
4-8, 2-7 in the conference. I know they had a win over Colorado. I'm blanking on who their second win was. It was probably Arizona, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm correct. Wait, no, they lost to Colorado. That was their first loss. That was Colorado's only win last year. Was Cal. So they beat Stanford and Arizona. Okay, that probably would have been my next guess.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work to be done. The win total's at 5. We'll talk kind of through the roster right now, figure out what we think about that win total. So, the roster we're currently using, we're kind of going blind a little bit.
Yeah, because their transfers are
they brought in 20 transfers or something.
Yeah, and none of them are listed on on the depth chart.
We're just gonna attempt. So they brought in Sam Jackson, the 5th.
Yeah, from TCU.
Transfer maybe
he was the 3rd string last year, I think, at TCU.
Okay, so
behind Morris and Duggan.
Yes, but what I also will say is they also brought in Ben Finley
from NC State. So you got a little competition there.
Little. I mean, I just don't think that anyone there. Obviously, they lost Jamichael Sturdivant.
Yeah, who we just talked about at UCLA.
But they picked up Brian Hightower out of Illinois, receiver.
Probably a downgrade there,
yeah.
But still adding depth, always good.
They lost Jack Plummer to Louisville.
Yeah, that's right.
They lost their. Oh wow, there's some weird stuff going on here. They lost Kai Milner, another guy in the quarterback room. He went the JUCO route, Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. So maybe there's something else.
That's FCS, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, a lot of change going on at Cal in, I think, what is season number 5 for Justin Wilcox, right?
I think it might be, yeah.
Cal is it's interesting right now, the athletic department, because they just hired a new basketball coach.
Yep.
In what was a really good hire. But what's weird is Stanford fired their football coach, right? And everyone thought they should have fired their basketball coach too.
Yeah.
Cal fires their basketball coach, and I feel like there are a lot of people that probably think that Justin Wilcox is on a short leash at Cal too. Yeah. But I just don't know how much money is being fed into these programs.
Probably nothing.
Because it's a very good academic school, right? But at the same time, have you heard anything about Cal's NIL or anything like that? I don't think they have NIL.
Now, can we talk about the positives from the transfer portal?
Yeah, because there are some.
Yeah. So they went out and got Matthew Wyckoff, offensive guard from Texas A&M, who
had a very good season last year,
and he was all SEC first team. So very interesting. Not sure why he transferred.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I think what I read was that maybe he's going to get passed up on the depth chart,
which is confusing considering the season he had as a freshman.
Yeah, but I think the only reason he played was because of injuries.
Okay, that would make sense.
So, but they brought in Byron Cardwell, running back.
Speedy running back at Oregon.
Yeah, so should be good.
Yeah, him and Jaden Knott should make for actually a pretty good running back room.
They brought in a few cornerbacks. I think their DB room was really left in not good shape.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Noel Williams at UNLV and Patrick
McMorris, who probably will start at safety for them, at strong safety.
San Diego State. They brought in another running back, Justin Williams-Thomas from Tennessee. So they try to get guys. Marquise Dortch is a wide receiver from Mississippi State, and they got Taj Davis, who's actually
the receiver room's actually not terrible. especially considering J. Michael Sturdivant left.
Yeah. Marcus Scott, cornerback from Mizzou.
Yeah, I don't remember watching him, actually. He definitely didn't start at Mizzou. But, he's an SEC corner he's a corner that was good enough to play in an SEC school.
Oh, do they still have David Reese from Florida? I think he transferred in last year.
I'm not entirely sure.
Is he on this team?
Okay, that's what I'm getting confused with. So Marcus Scott was a commit in the 21 class from Mizzou, which is actually he was a very part of a very good class from Missouri. Yeah. Missouri has a corner named Marcus Clark, who was a transfer from Miami. So I was getting the two confused. I'm like, did this kid transfer again? But no, this kid just, unfortunately, will obviously, Mizzou episode will be long because I know a lot about that team. But this kid could not get on the field at Mizzou. And granted, Mizzou might have two NFL corners. So,
listen, man, I don't want to talk about players I don't know. And unfortunately, I just don't have a good grasp of the Cal roster. They obviously brought
it's confusing. David Reese, by the way, is still there.
Okay, so he's still there. So I remember he was actually a fairly talented kid coming out of high school. But
no, this is just a confusing time in the California Golden Bear world right now. It's a lot of moving parts. It's tough to really get a grasp on who's going to start at a lot of these positions. And their win totals, they won't probably be the worst team in the conference. The win total set at 5 for a reason. This is not Colorado. This is probably a better team than Arizona State's going to put out on the field. So
yeah, no, I very much a wild card, and the 5 is the perfect wild card. What do you do with this team? Now, let's look through their schedule. They've got start off Portland State.
Are you looking at Oregon's schedule still? Yeah, you are.
Oh my God.
Second time in a row you've done that. Wonderful.
It's our 3rd episode currently, so who do they play? Who do they got?
North Texas, and then at Auburn, or not at Auburn. They actually host Auburn. I'd love to hear the reasoning behind that. Why in the world Auburn scheduled that? This would make a lot more sense if Auburn was playing I don't know, Oregon State in Dallas or something like that.
It's so weird, yeah.
But I'd love to hear Auburn's reasoning for scheduling this.
They got Auburn. They got
North Texas to start the year. Then they at North Texas. Idaho at home before the Pac-12 play starts.
Oh, Washington. Then they got.
This is actually
Arizona State at home. This is why they win 5 games. Because they play North Texas and Idaho.
I'm just counting their schedule right now, and they probably should win at least 4.
Question: with the state of
I bet this pushes.
With the state of what Cal athletic department monetary problems are, is North Texas a buy game? Did they pay Cal to go there?
So I'm not exactly sure why you schedule a G5 game on the road ever. Why anyone ever does that. Even if they're paying you to even if it's a 2-for-1 deal, right? Even if you get two games at home, 1 game on the road, it's still not worth it, right? Going on the road to a G5 team, to start your season. Last year, Mizzou was supposed to play at Middle Tennessee State to start the year, and they canceled it and played Louisiana Tech at home instead. And everyone was thrilled. Yeah. So, I just, don't understand, even in a 2-for-1 deal, why you schedule a G5 team on the road.
They got Utah on the road. They have USC at home. They have Oregon on the road.
USC is after a bye. USC by 30.
They have Wazoo at home. They go on the road at Stanford. Yeah, I'm hitting the under.
I am too. But I think they I think if this pushes at 5, I wouldn't be surprised. But I would definitely lean under. If we have to pick a side.
So we both the under there. I think that's gonna wrap up.
Yeah, shorter episode. We'll feed out any more Cal information if we get some. But it seems like they're limited on what they have available right now.
I think it'd be so funny if they end up being one of these dark horse teams with 8 games and
I just is there a point in your life where you remember Cal being a talking point in college football?
Jared Goff.
But like that was a 6-6 team. Like that, they just had Jared Goff. They weren't good. The team that actually won, the team in 2019 that went like 8-5 was actually like way better than the Jared Goff Cal team.
Oh man, Cal's just such a bad shape. Okay, well, let's wrap up our episode. Thanks for listening again. We'll get another one of these out there. We're blasting through the Pac-12. So.
Got the entire summer to get through all, 66, including Notre Dame, Power 5 teams. Do you want to do Notre Dame? They're a top 15, top 10 team.
I mean, if we do Notre Dame, we've got to do like Coastal Carolinas.
We could take a crack at a couple G5 schools. If you're going to do 65, well, what's the harm in doing 70, right?
So also, we're going to count like Cincinnati and
they're Power 5 now.
Yeah.
So I guess it's more than the 65 I counted for.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Stay on the lookout for future stuff. And thanks for listening.